November 3rd, it's No Dig Day. All started by the No Dig granddaddy, Charles Dowding. Started No Dig Day every year, November 3rd. So I put this video together for No Dig Day. Check out how I put these 3 no dig beds together with problems and potential dangers. No dig. Check it out. First step, head down to your commercial district and pick up cardboard. Get that, keep it out of the recycling bin and get it into your garden. Okay, now let's get rid of everything that you don't want in the ground in your garden, like tape and stickers. Staples if you choose as well. This is what I'm starting with here. That's an old pile of compost. So I thought I'd just kind of give the ground a rake. You might be thinking, there aren't any weeds in that ground, but trust me, it hasn't rained for almost a year. But when it does rain, the weeds come out. So here I'm just wetting down the cardboard just to kind of help me keep it in place. Then I grabbed some native soil from my hugelkultur row that I have. And look at this wood just falling apart. Added some native soil, get some microbes in there. And then just kind of wet it down. You see I put the boards down here to kind of give me an idea of the size of the bed, and make sure you give yourself a nice edge. Okay, so let's sieve this compost. So I was about to sieve it and I took a closer look at it. I just got back from out of town for a few months, and this pile is just a big dry mess. It stopped decomposing, so I'm gonna have to get this going again. So my whole no dig is on pause, and I'm going to work on compost for the next month and a half. So how am I going to speed up this compost pile? Well, turning the pile and aerating it really does a job. Aeration speeds up decomposition. The fresh oxygen significantly increases the rate of composting, while controlling the temperature and producing aerobic microbes is what you want. Keep it moist but not soggy, just nice and damp. And keep it moving. I probably moved this pile maybe 6 or 7 times in a month and a half. It was a lot of work, but it was well worth the wait and the effort. Here in this climate in the Canary Islands, I'd like to keep it covered. Try and maintain the moisture that I put into the pile. If over 40, check with your cardiologist to make sure it's okay you turn compost like that. Only half joking. So the compost pile proved to be quite popular with a number of little creatures. Here we have the West Canary skink, which is endemic to the Western Canary Islands. This endemic little creature. So the compost has been coming along quite nicely. Some more lizards there scooting away, but I want to get it going. So I want to do the radish test. So I grabbed some compost from near the center of the pile and planted some radish seeds. Now radish seeds will germinate quite quickly. So the idea is if they germinate and they grow well and not turning yellow, then your compost is ready to go. That's the theory anyway. So let's give it a try. And the very next day, we have sprouts. Good start. Coming up nice. I guess I'll put them in the sun. They're getting a little spindly. Looking good. Here we have a banana plant. Just gave a bunch of bananas and it's in the way. So we're going to get rid of it. So dig it up and get the corm out of there. Sacrifice for the no dig garden. All right, let's get this started. I got up early, wanted to get a couple hours before the sun came up over the mountain because it's going to be a little bit of hard work in the hot sun. So this is the first piece, and what I'm doing here is making sure that I'm lapping it under. So the original bed is overlapping the new cardboard. This is to avoid light getting in and weed seeds to be able to sprout through there. The whole idea behind the cardboard is to kind of suppress the weed roots. And they'll try and try their best to get through, and eventually they'll just get exhausted and give up trying. So as I said before, overlap. Don't be shy. You want to make sure that there's no space in between. So sometimes you'll find the bigger pieces are more convenient. Like these came from some big boxes, so it's really handy. But even the little holes, make sure you cover up all the little holes. Benefits of no-dig gardening. Well, fewer weeds, no backbreaking digging in the future, maintaining the microbial and fungal networks intact, water retention, and carbon management. Sequester that carbon. Now I begin the job of sifting my compost. If your compost is very well broken down, you could just put it right on top. But as you can see, I still have some pretty big chunks of stuff and rocks in here. So I'm going to sift a wheelbarrow out, and I'm going to add some of my worm castings that I've saved. So the idea is that in the future, you're just going to add more compost once a year. Another layer of compost once a year. No digging, of course. That looks pretty good. Let's make it a little better. I got 4 wheelbarrow loads of compost and worm castings for this bed. And now comes the formation time. So how thick of a layer of compost do you put down for your no-dig beds? Well, it seems to be 7 to 12 centimeters or 3 to 5 inches should be enough. Here I am firming the soil, not compacting it. There's a big difference there. Your new roots need something to anchor in, so if it's all loose and fluffy, you don't have any place to really kind of anchor down. Then hold some moisture in as well. So now that I have the other 2 beds, I'll just take these pieces of wood and kind of build up the edges, give them more of a form to the new no-dig beds. Wood chip time. Now, ideally you would like some RCM or ramial chip wood. Ramial chip wood comes from the smaller branches of the tree. Most of the nutrients are found in the smaller branches than the trunk wood. These are just any old wood chips. They're not particularly ramial, but this is what I've got. So this is what I'm using. I find it's always easier to have them on a tarp so you can easily do the pile up again like this as it gets smaller. Now I'm just giving it a good watering to get everything settled in here into their new little home. It's looking pretty good. That looks really nice, that wet compost against that wood chip, but needs some mulching, so off to the feed store and let's get some straw.
Una presión.
So in the end, just this one bale of straw was enough to cover these 3 no-dig garden beds. Now, put a lot on, and you know, you never want to leave your garden beds exposed to the sun and the elements. You either want a mulching or a cover crop. And there they are before, and here they are now. Now I've just got to get some plants in there. Okay, so we just had a big rain. It's been raining off and on quite strongly for the last couple of days. Intermittent showers, so it's been really good. I took this opportunity today to get some vegetables into the garden. You see over here I have tomatoes, and over here I have some lettuces, and I also planted some zucchini, and I have pumpkins coming out as well. You see here tomatoes, I planted them with a string at the bottom, so I'll eventually tie them up to the trellis that I have. I'll get a couple more trellises over here as well. So now we wait for the bounty to come. To straw or not to straw? Depends on how you word your search. You're going to get very different search results, yay and nay. Pros of straw, at least in this heat, is the reflective properties. Keeps the land cooler in areas where you want to keep the land cooler. That's good. Weed suppression, erosion from heavy rains, the classic good mulch benefits. Possible disadvantages: it's been treated by aminopyralid. Herbicide, don't know a lot about it. Maybe something for a future video. But your straw or your hay could be treated with it to kill broadleaf weeds. Goes through the horse, gets into the manure, gets into your garden. But I hear not all is lost because it does biodegrade. Eventually. So they say. So, to be honest, I'm not 100% sure if mine has it or not. Have to wait and see. They could look good at the beginning, and then a few weeks later, the symptoms show up in curved leaves, stunted growth, little yield or no yield. You have to know where your manure is coming from, and even where your straw is coming from. The straw might have weed seeds. And you know what? This straw does have weed seed. Let's hope it doesn't get out of hand. Wait and see. So if you haven't already tried No Dig, I encourage you to do so. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you down the road. Garden on.